Hey guys, welcome to Lunchroom Yoga. My name is Dani. In today's class, we're going to be working on the legs a lot. We're going to be moving through a flow that is going to energize your hips and the rest of your legs, as well as allow you to find a stable base to support the rest of your body. Hope you enjoy. We're going to start today in a seated pose, comfortable seated pose. So whatever that means to you, whether it is crossing your legs or keeping one leg in front of the other or having one leg on top of the other. Even maybe sitting on top of a cushion or a block if your hips feel a little bit heavy, a little bit tense today. And then we're going to move the fleshy part of the buttocks, finding the sit bones, anchoring the sit bones to the ground, pulling or bringing the pubic bone in and upwards. It's a very subtle movement, doesn't require much, it's just feeling like you're grounding through the pelvic floor. And then we're going to bring the hands onto the thighs. Close the eyes here for a moment. Move your hands forward and back just a few times until you find a place where your hands will naturally rest. And we're going to bring the attention to the breath. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose. We're going to use our breath today as a bridge that connects our mind and the body. And not only connects the mind and the body together, links the body and the mind together, but also connects us to the movement itself. The breath is also going to be an indicator of how present you are in your practice today and how much work you're doing. Your breath is going to tell you if you're taking it a bit too far, or if you have more room to move and experiment. So with that in mind, we're going to establish our Ujjayi breath. So bringing the tip of your tongue onto the roof of your mouth, closing your lips, and breathing in and out through the nose, having that little constriction at the back of your throat, and using that constriction to create that sound like the waves of the ocean. And the exhales feel like you're trying to fog a mirror. Breathing in and out through the nose. Inhaling fully and completely. And exhaling completely out through the nose. Feeling how the belly and the chest expand with every inhale. And how everything comes down, relaxes down with every exhale. On your next inhale, slowly open your eyes, blink a few times. And then bring the hands down to the front of your mat. We're going to move into hands and knees position, tabletop position. And we're just going to work with the body here for a moment, just to find the frame that works for you. So if you have ever done yoga, out there, you might have heard that you're keeping your wrists under your shoulders and your knees under your hips. And that's fine, it works for most of us. But for today, I want you to explore the position that works for your body best and that feels stable in a way. So take a couple of seconds just to find that, spreading the fingers out to the side and finding a neutral position of the spine. You're going to move into a few rounds of cat-cow. And we're going to start by taking a deep breath in, full breath out. On the next inhale, let the belly dip down, open your chest, pointing the crown of the head and the tailbone up, moving the shoulders back towards the spine. And as we exhale, we're going to round the spine, hollowing the belly, tucking the chin in, pushing the ground away from your hands. And again, inhale to open up, opening the chest, pointing the crown of the head and the tailbone up, expanding through the chest. As we exhale, we're gonna round the spine, hollowing the belly, pushing the ground away. We're gonna do that one more time. Inhaling to open up. And exhaling to round the spine. On the next inhale, we're gonna return back to neutral. From here, find that stability through your hands and your knees again. Then we're gonna tuck the 10 toes under. This time we're gonna move the body or push the weight towards the left side of the body. And then extend the right leg back. Now I want you to move very slowly and notice when your hip wants to open. We're gonna avoid that by pushing the hip bone down, keeping the hips centered and squared. Not that there's anything wrong with opening the hip, but for today, we're just gonna keep that work even. And keeping the abdomen, the core muscles active. Now push the heel back. This might be all you can do today, and that's totally okay. But if you have more room to move, then go ahead and begin to walk your left fingertips to the front of your mat. And then slowly see if you can extend that hand forward, reaching out or forward with your hand. You feel like your hand and your foot is moving into opposite directions, and your core is keeping everything together. Breathe in and out. One more breath in. Exhale, bring your hand down. And we're gonna bring the right knee in towards the chest, rounding the spine, hollowing the belly. And as we exhale, bring the knee down. Find your stable, neutral position again. Breathe in. And then we're gonna move to the other side. On the next exhale, extend the left leg back. Very, very slowly. Notice when your hip begins to open and avoid that by pointing the hip bone down. Send the heels far away from your body as you can, keeping your core active here. Option 1 is to stay here. Option 2 is begin to curl your right fingertips to the front of your mat. And then maybe see if you can extend that hand forward and holding there. Breathing in and out through the nose. Having that sensation like you're moving into opposite directions. That's how active your arm and your leg should be. Breathe in. And as you exhale, hand down to the floor. Knee to chest, round the spine, hollow the belly. And then bring the knee down. Keep your 10 toes hooked under. Then send the hips back and then all the way up, coming into your first downward facing dog of the practice. Now walk your dog, bending one knee at a time, swinging the hips from side to side. And pause here for a second. And again, we're gonna try to find the frame that works for us. And asking, being curious about how this pose is feeling in our bodies. Whether you feel tired or energized. How is this pose, what is this pose doing for your shoulders, for your hips, for the back of your legs? Allow yourself to modify the pose as much as you need to make it yours. We're not adapting the body to the pose, we're adapting the pose to the body. Breathe in and out. Now once you find the frame that works for you, we're going to stay still for a few cycles of breath. Keep the focus on your ujjayi breath. On your next exhale, lift your heels high, bend the knees, look forward, and walk your feet very slowly to the front of your mat. Taking your time to get there. Now allow the knees to be fully bent on let everything hang heavy, grab hold onto the opposite elbows, and maybe sway from side to side. Letting gravity take control here for a moment. Now let go of your arms, and on the next inhale, slowly begin to rise up to standing, taking your time to get there. One vertebra at a time. And then roll your shoulders a couple of times to the back. Moving into Tadasana, mountain pose. We're gonna find the stability through the legs. Like I said before, we're gonna be working a lot on the legs today. We're gonna start by just finding the frame, the base of our legs. So that might look different for most of us. Some of us need our legs to be a bit more open, some of us need our legs to be a little bit closer to each other. So take a few seconds just to find that for yourself. Making sure that you feel stable through your heels, through your hips. On the next inhale, we're gonna begin to bend the knees, sending the hips back, moving into a chair pose. Hands are gonna reach forward, not up. The palms are gonna be facing down. We're just gonna hold it here for a couple of breaths. Now activate your core muscles. So you release the weight from your hips a little bit. Breathing in and out through the nose, sit a little bit deeper. One last breath in. And on your next inhale, push your hands down, stand tall. Exhale here. Inhale to reach up with both hands. And as we exhale, hands through heart center. On the next inhale, we're gonna bend the knees again, moving into our chair pose, reaching forward with both hands, sitting deep into that chair, activating through the core muscles. Breathe in and out. One more breath in. Exhale, push your hands down, stand tall. Inhale to reach up. Exhale, hands through the heart center. One last time. Inhale to bend the knees, find your chair pose. Hold it there for a couple of breaths. Last breath in. And then slowly stand tall. Reach up. Exhale, hands through the heart center, and then we fall forward from the hips, finding our first forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Bring your arms and your spine to straight-ish. And as we exhale, plant the hands and step it back into your plank pose. Modify your plank if you need to by bringing your knees down. We're going to push the ground away from our hands, activating through the core muscles. Feel your legs as well. Take a deep breath in. As we exhale, bend the elbows back and lower down slowly to the floor. I'll point the toes to the back, and as we inhale, we're going to lift just a few inches off the floor into Cobra or Bhujangasana, keeping the elbows bent. Chest is open, shoulders are rolled to the back. Breathe in. Exhale, relax back on the floor. Tuck your 10 toes under. Keep your knees grounded, but lift your hips and your lower belly just a few inches off the floor. And on the next inhale, push yourself back up into modified plank. As we exhale, we're all going to move back into downward facing dog. Breathe in and out. Inhale, slowly stretch it forward into your plank pose again. Feel free to keep your knees down on the ground if you need to. But we're going to move down into Chaturanga halfway only on the next exhale. Breathe in. Bend the elbows back, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, open up into your Cobra or upward facing dog, whatever works for you, point the toes to the back. And as we exhale, we're going to move back into our downward facing dog. Breathe in. All the way out. On the next inhale, the right leg is going to rise all the way up to the sky. Doesn't have to travel too far, as long as you feel your glute muscles working. Now push that heel away from the body and hold it there for a couple of breaths. Now bend that knee and begin to do a little pulses with your leg. Just for a couple of breaths. Feeling how engaged your glute muscles are right now. Breathe in and out through the nose. On the next inhale, knee to chest, hollow the belly, push the body forward. Exhale, step it forward in between your hands. We're going to keep the back knee off the ground and find the stability through the legs first. Find your frame, making sure that you feel the power of your legs and you feel like you can support your body with the stability or the frame that you're in. Now leave your hands a few inches off the ground and test your frame first. And if you feel comfortable enough, rise all the way up and Janajasana. Keep reaching up with both hands, but move your hips in space just a little bit. Notice how it feels, how much room you have. And then we're going to find the place where we're going to sit. We feel so stable here that nothing is going to bring us down. Take a deep breath in. Keep reaching up. On the next exhale, we're going to take an elevator down by bending the back knee so slowly. Begin to release the hips from the floor. Now I want you to stop when you feel like you're super close to the ground. You're gonna keep that knee hovering for a couple of breaths. In and out through the nose. One more breath in. As you exhale, allow your knee to touch the ground. Inhale to open the chest, finding a little bit of a back bend, a little bit of release to the front of the body. Deep breath in. And deep breath out. One more breath in. On the next inhale, we're gonna come up the same way we came down. So we're gonna lift that back knee off the ground just a few inches. Hold it there for a couple of breaths. And then begin slowly your journey up. Once you find that initial position, take a deep breath in, reach a little bit higher. As we exhale, hands down to the ground and step it back into your plank. Go through your vinyasa at your own pace, knees down or knees off the ground. Take a deep breath in, exhale, chaturanga. Inhale to open up into your back bend. As we exhale, we're all going to move back into downward facing dog. Breathe in. And out. Now walk your hands to meet your feet at the very end of your mat. Now allow your knees to be fully bent here. Letting the body hang heavy, taking a little break. On the next inhale, slowly begin to rise up to standing. Again, one vertebra at a time. Once you're here, we're gonna find that stability through the legs again, that very sturdy and stable frame. And then we're gonna move our way into the left leg, bringing the right heel off the mat. Now, if you have troubles with your balancing today, that's fine. We're not gonna travel too far. But if you need to have a wall next to you, just for a little bit of support, that's okay. Just avoiding leaning too much into it, and see if you can activate through the leg to just allow the body to work a little bit. Hands into your hips, lengthen the spine. And then we're gonna bring the knee in towards the chest. Once you're there, extend that leg forward and hold it there for 5. Doesn't matter if it's not too high. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Step the foot to the front, to the middle of your mat. Lengthen the spine. Take a deep breath in, and as we exhale, we're gonna hinge forward from the hips, halfway down only. Now, your front knee can be slightly bent if you feel like your right hamstring is being overstretched. And the important thing here is that we keep our core really active. Now, if you got all this, see if you can extend the the left arm forward. Maybe allow the right arm to forward. Aiming for your spine to be parallel to the ground. Breathe in. And out. One more breath in. One last one. And as we exhale, slowly bring the hands down, bend your right knee quite a lot. And then walk your hands forward. Aiming to draw a triangle between your hands and your right foot. We're gonna push the body forward, bringing the weight onto your hand and to your right leg. You're gonna feel like your left naturally wants to lift. Option 1 is to stay fairly close to the ground. That might be enough work for your right leg. Option 2 is to send that left leg all the way up to the sky. And if you feel comfortable enough, maybe release the weight from your hands, bring your hands into your heart center. And you're dipping forward, your chest is lower than your hips. But then we're all gonna try to bring the chest a little bit higher into Virabhadrasana 3, Warrior 3. Keep pushing that heel away from the body. Take one more deep breath in. And on the next inhale, left knee to the chest. Rising one go. Step it forward to the top of your mat. Take a deep breath in here. Full breath out. Inhale, bend the knees, take your chair pose. And as we exhale, we fall forward. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, step it back into your plank. Go through your vinyasa, chaturanga down, lower down. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe in. And out. Inhale, send the left leg all the way up to the sky. And again, it doesn't matter if it doesn't travel too high, as long as you feel your glute muscles working. Hold it there for a couple of breaths, and then bend the knee. Begin to do little pulses with your knee and your leg. Squeezing the glute muscles. Breathing in and out through the nose. One more breath in. And then slowly knee to chest. Step it forward in between the hands. Keep your back heel off the ground, back knee off the ground. Find your stability first. There's no rush. Just take your time to really feel like your legs can support the rest of your body. And lift your hands off the ground just a few inches. And if you feel stable enough, then rise up. Reaching up with both hands. Exhaling to sink the hips. Take a second or two to work through your hips. Notice what happens when you open, you close, you move up, down, in and out. And then find your center. Breathing in. We're gonna take a slow elevator down by bending the back knee slowly, slowly, slowly. And when you feel like you're super close to the ground, hold it there for a couple of breaths. Breathing in and out. One last breath in. Exhale, let your knee touch down. Inhale to rise up. Exhale, opening into a back bend, glorious back bend, stretch the front of the body. Take one deep breath in. And slowly come back to neutral. Then we're gonna come up the same way we came down. So lifting that back knee first. Then slowly, slowly, slowly come all the way up. Anjaneyasana. Take one deep breath in here. Exhale, bring the hands down. Step it back into your plank. Chaturanga down. Cobra or upward facing dog as you inhale. Down dog as you exhale. Breathe in. And walk your hands back to meet your toes at the very end of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, rise all the way up to standing, reach up. Exhale, hands through your heart center. You're gonna bring the hands into the hips again. Finding that stability through the legs. And again, if you're finding that your balance is a little bit off today, that's fine. Keep a wall close to you if you need to. But don't rely too much on your wall. See if you can, from time to time, release the pressure and allow the leg to do the work. We're gonna bring the weight onto the right leg now, bringing the left knee into the chest, keeping the chest lengthening. And then slowly extend that leg forward. Hold it there for 5, 4, 3, lift a little bit higher, 2, and 1. Step your left foot forward towards the middle of your mat. Inhale to lengthen the spine. Exhale to hinge forward from the hips. Halfway down only, aiming for your spine to be parallel-ish to the ground. Allow your front knee to be bent if you need to. And then slowly reach with your right hand forward. If you got this, maybe allow your left hand to join. Palms facing each other. Activate through your core muscles. Both legs are super active right now. Deep breath in. Full breath out. One more breath in. Exhale, hands down. Lock your hands slightly forward. Find that triangle shape. And then push your body forward so your weight is onto your hand and your front leg. And you're gonna feel like your right leg wants to naturally lift, float off the mat. Option is just to stay here with your leg fairly close to the ground. Option is to lift that leg all the way up to the sky, finding your standing split. Option is to bring your hands up into your heart center. If you have your hands on your heart center, then slowly let your heart center slowly begin to rise up into warrior 3. And breathe. One last deep breath. Right knee to chest, rise all the way up. And then step it to the front of the mat. Feet together. Deep breath in. Full breath out. On the next inhale, bend the knees, take your chair pose. This time we're going to reach up with both hands. We're going to sink the hips as low as we can. Activating through the core muscles. Bring your hands to your heart center. And then begin to twist to your right. Start from your torso. So moving from your abdomen or your core muscles. Once you're there, see if you can sit a little bit deeper and then hook your left elbow to the outside of your right knee. Use that connection to help you twist a little bit deeper, opening your chest with the right. Your gaze can travel far beyond your fingertips, or even maybe travel up into the sky, whatever works for you. And breathe in. Breathe out. One last deep breath in. Inhale back into your chair pose to center. Bring your weight onto your right leg. Lift your left heel up. In one go, we're going to lift that knee and send that leg back. Touch with your toes first. Release your heel, forward 2. We're just going to take a couple of seconds to find the frame of our legs. And like I said before, this is going to depend on your hips. It's going to depend not only on your muscles, how strong your muscles and your or stretch your muscles are, but also on your bones. It depends a lot on your pelvis, your hips, how open they are, what's the relationship with your femur as well. So take a couple of seconds just to find the frame that works for you. You feel like you're working, but you also feel stable and secure. And then stretch your arms out to the side, palms facing down. Take a deep breath in here. And as we exhale, we're going to bring the left palm down at the base of the hips, palm facing up. Right arm is going to travel up. And then we're going to begin to lean in towards the back leg, slowly, slowly, slowly. And as we do that, we're going to feel like our hands naturally wants to travel with us. We're going to feel like our left hand is going to travel forward, and our right hand is going to travel back, stretching. Sink a little bit deeper onto your hips and breathe. 2 more breaths. Last breath in. Inhale slowly back into your warrior 2. Now we're going to switch hands. Right hand at the base of your hips. Left hand is going to travel up. And then we're going to begin to lean forward just a few inches. We're not going to dump our weight onto the front leg at all. Keep your core really active. And we're going to do the same thing with the hands. The right hand is going to travel back this time. Left hand is going to travel forward. And we're going to breathe. Full breath in. And full breath out. Last breath in. Inhale back into your warrior 2. Bring that front leg to straight. Now we're going to pivot the left foot out to the side. So your toes are pointing out in opposite directions. We're going to bend the knees and take goddess pose. We're going to bring the hands onto the thighs just for a second or two. And then we're going to push the hips forward. We have the tendency to lean forward just to get away from the work. And we're going to do the opposite. We're actually going to push the hips forward and keep the spine lengthening up. And once you're there, hands onto your heart center. And we're going to begin to move from one side to the other, bringing one leg straight at a time, very slowly. And we're going to start super high on the hips. And then slowly begin to move a little bit closer to the ground with every move. Maybe going all the way down, finding center, moving to the other side. Whatever works for you. Do not rush into this movement. Take it very slowly. Feel your body. Just do one more on each side. Oops. And we're gonna end back on the left leg bending. We're gonna twist the body to the end of the mat. Pick up the back heel, the right heel. And then step the right foot forward to meet the left. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale to fold. Inhale, rise all the way up to standing. Exhale, hands to the heart center. On the next inhale, take your chair pose and the knees reaching forward with both hands. Exhale to sit deep. Bring your hands into your heart center. And then we're going to find a twist to the left this time. We're going to twist with the torso first, making sure that you're using the core muscles to twist. And then sit a little bit deeper. See if you can hook your right elbow to the outside of your left knee. And use that connection to open your chest to the left. Your gaze can be traveling up to the side, whatever works for your neck. But breathe. Always breathing. Inhale back into your chair pose. Then bring your weight onto your left leg, right knee goes up. Step that right foot back. Release your toes, your heel down, finding your warrior two on the other leg. Take a couple of seconds just to adjust. Finding whatever position of the hips, of the legs works for you. And then we're going to stretch the arms out. Bring the right hand at the base of your hips, palm facing up, left hand goes up. We're going to lean towards the back leg. Slowly, slowly, slowly. And as you do that, you're going to stretch your right hand forward, your left hand back. Make sure that you're still bending that front knee. You're not hiding away from the work in the legs. Breathe in and out. One last breath. Actually, one more. Inhale back into your warrior two. Switch hands, left hand at the base of your hips. Right hand goes up. Leaning forward this time. Very, very slowly. Some of the left hand is going to reach back. The right hand is going to reach forward. Activating. Keep the hips sinking down. Core is super active here. Breathe in. And out. One more breath in. Inhale back into warrior two. Bring that front leg to straight. Pivot your left foot in. A little bit of pigeon toe here. Hands into your hips. Inhale to lengthen the spine. Exhale to hinge forward. Option is to bring your hands down to the ground if you can, if you have access to that. If you feel like your hamstrings are a little bit of a risk here, feel free to bend the knees. Your hands can also be on your legs, your ankles, your heels, whatever works for you. We're going to take this rather passively. We're not forcing the body into any shape. Just breathe. Taking one more breath in. Inhale, halfway lift. And as you exhale, toe heel your legs in a little bit closer. And then we're going to sit into Malasana Yogi Squat. Now for some of us, this position is rather uncomfortable. If you're one of those that you can't really bring your heels onto the ground, then feel free to stay high with your hips. The important thing is that you feel a slight stretch on the inside of your legs. If you have successfully bring your hips down, we're gonna sink slowly. And then bring the forearms, the arms in, inside the knees, and then push the knees away. Bring your palms together at your heart center. Lengthen to the crown of the head. Sit bones sinking down. And we're just going to hold it here. Just breathing. Now we are going to bring the hands behind the body and let the hips sink to the ground. Now bring your heels and your toes down to the ground, knees bent. And then we're going to bring the hands behind the legs. Lengthen the spine. You're going to feel like you're sitting on your sit bones again. With your spine like this, lengthening, we're going to lean a little bit towards the back. And then slowly begin to bring the knees a little bit closer to the chest. See if you can lift one leg up. And then the other. And again, switching. And the other. And if you feel comfortable enough, maybe you can lift both legs up the ground. Or even maybe release your arms and reach forward. Or even maybe extending the legs up. Keep your core active. Make sure whatever position you're choosing to be in, you are controlling the pose. The pose is not controlling you. Even though you might be shaking a little bit, you still feel like you can hold this, that you can be stable in it. One more breath in. And as we exhale, bring the feet down, open the knees out to the side, grab hold onto your toes, and then push your hips forward. Baddha Konasana. So, different variations here. If your hips are not entirely open today, that's fine. You can grab hold onto your toes and just stay quite high. If you have room to move, then go ahead and hook your elbows to the outside of your legs, your shins. Maybe interlace your fingers behind your toes. And then use that connection to propel yourself forward. Lengthening the spine. And then maybe see if you can move a little bit closer to the ground. We're taking it very, very subtle here. We're not overdoing anything. Breathing. And slowly coming all the way back up. Bring your knees together, reach forward with both hands, and then roll into your spine. Bring the hands beside the hips, walk your heels as close to your bums as you can. We're going to move into bridge pose, and we're going to start by hugging the elbows and the shoulders in towards the spine. On the next inhale, lift your hips high, using your glute muscles to push and lift. You're going to feel like your hips and your belly are at the highest point in your body right now. Option 1 is to stay here. Option 2 is to bring the weight onto your left leg and maybe see if you can lift your right knee up and then extend that leg up. Hold it there for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly release. Let your knees drop to one side and then the other. Then we're going to do a second round of that, just walking your heels towards your bum, hugging your elbows and your shoulders in. Inhale to lift into your bridge pose. Option to stay here, this might be enough for you today. Option to extend that leg up, that left leg up, and hold it there for 5. Keep pushing your hips high. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly release. Bring your feet down. Let your knees drop to one side and then the other. And then bring the knees into your chest. Drop your arms around your legs. And then again, rock from side to side. Connect your big toes together. Spread the knees out to the side, but hug them in towards your armpits. Option 1 is to stay here if you feel like your hips are super tight today. Option 2 is to move into happy baby pose by grabbing the outer edges of your feet and pushing your knees in towards your armpits, but at the same time you're pointing the tailbone down. Once you're there, again, rock from side to side. It's giving a beautiful release to your hips, to your lower back. One last breath in. Now let go of your legs, bring your knees together, open your arms to the side, and then we're going to begin to twist from one side to the other. Moving the knees, sort of in a U shape kind of. Moving the knees as close to the elbows as you can, and then moving back to center, then to the other side. And just doing that a few times. Massaging the lower back. And then we're going to let the knees drop completely to the left side of the body. Breathe. And slowly moving back to center, letting the knees drop to the right side of the body. Gentle twist. And slowly back to center, extending the legs to the front, bringing your arms overhead. Give yourself a big, massive, massive stretch. Whole body. And then relaxing for Shavasana. And for this Shavasana, I'm going to ask you to take any relaxing pose that works for your body the best. I know traditionally we do Shavasana on our backs, but just for today, I want you to find any comfortable position that works for your body. If you feel like your legs deserve a little bit of love, I recommend you bringing your legs up the wall. I'm actually going to do that right now. So bring your hips as close to the wall as you can, and then swing the legs up, extending them up to the sky. Your spine is flat on the ground. And then we're going to let ourselves rest. Whatever we have chosen for Shavasana today, make sure that your body feels relaxed and comfortable. Every single muscle of the body is just finding the way to rest. Take a deep breath in and exhale through the mouth in, letting everything go. And again, deep breath in and exhaling in. One more time, deep breath in, exhaling. Letting every single muscle of your body find rest. Relax. Shavasana. your time to wake up the body. Begin to wiggle the toes and the fingers. Deepening the breath. Maybe stretching if you need to. Bending the knees, rolling onto one side, whichever side works for you. It doesn't really matter. Whenever you're ready, bring yourself up into a comfortable seated pose on your mat. Turning to that initial position where we started in. Either sitting on a cushion, on a block, or bringing your legs into a cross-legged position, one leg on top of the other, whatever works for you. We're going to bring the hands into the heart center. Take a deep breath in. Full breath out. Just taking a moment to feel the body. See if you can notice any difference. Do you feel a bit more relaxed or a bit more open? And if you don't, it doesn't really matter, as long as you're aware of what the body is feeling right now. Press your thumbs against your collarbones so you can feel the beating of your heart. And then tuck the chin in so you can feel the air coming out of your body, sweeping against your fingertips. And letting these two physical actions be a reminder that you're here, you're alive, you're present, and you're truly blessed to have your body, to be able to move freely. So thank yourself for taking the time to be here, to take care of yourself. Namaste.